Evans Nimaku is Director of Research and Elections at the New Patriotic Party headquarters. He is a member of the Elections Committee of the party as well. Mr. Nimaku, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we've heard complaints about intimidation. We've heard complaints about money being shared. We've heard complaints about persons who are agents having to run away from centers. Some of these complaints came from the Allen camp. Some came from the Kennedy Japan camp. From the party headquarters, as you received information and did your own assessment, what's the verdict on your electoral process this weekend?
Thank you once again. I must say the New Patriotic Party's Presidential Elections Committee is most grateful to all key stakeholders, especially you, the media. You do your best to bring diverse views on all issues coming up. What we went through last Saturday, I would say, has been largely successful due to the fact that the committee constructively engaged our presidential candidates and their agents, the Electoral Commission and Ghana Police Service, as well as with the media. In the course of the conduct of this internal election, mainly a family affair, largely successful. However, we faced some low points, comments, and engagement by some of our party members. The committee sat today as part of the review arrangement, and we are extending invitation to all our presidential candidates and or their assigns, and all those who engage the media with some concern, so that we can have balanced view on all issues that came up. Out of which the committee will submit its official report to the National Council. Mind you, the Presidential Elections Committee is a product of National Council. We don't exist on our own. We draw our mandate from the party's constitution as well as the terms of reference handed over to us by the National Council. And so some of the issues that you have mentioned, the committee is not in hurry to pass judgment, but rather wait and engage all sides of the coin and then make recommendations to the National Council of the party.
What about the issue of the tie? Is that something that you cannot easily determine? Because we're told your law is black and white, it's clear. Are you going to implement that? Or even though your law says there should be a rerun within a week, you may still have a different outcome?
Yes, I mean the Presidential Elections Committee, drawing its attention to the party's constitution, Article 13 that talks about the election of the presidential candidates. You look at 13.19 states where there are more than 5, you need to have special electoral college. At the end of the exercise, the result given us by the Electoral Commission after the collation is that we've had the first 4, but the 5th position is tied. The guidelines of the committee was that in an event of tie, there will be a runoff to untie. This is going to be a report that the committee will submit to the National Council. So we will await for the decision from the National Council, which is the second highest decision-making body apart from the National Conference of the party. And so for us as a committee, we will have to do the rerun to untie the 5th position, which had Mr. Adainimo and Mr. Boachejako.
We are told it's going to be on Wednesday, correct?
The National Executive Committee and National Council Committee, which is in the notice of the members of the committee, is an emergency meeting sanctioned by the national chairman in conformity with the party's constitution. But for us as a committee, we've always engaged our stakeholders, the key ones, of course, and in this case, our presidential candidate. So we've extended an invitation to them to meet with them together as a body and hear them out, and also to proceed to hear those who had raised concerns and had issues. And when you listen to them and listen to those who have concerns, you put all together to be part of the report that will be submitted to the National Council of the party.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless you too. That's Evans Nimakwe, Director of Elections and Research at the New Patriotic Party.